Have you ever wondered how the mighty dinosaurs disappeared from Earth? This event, one of the most tragic moments in the planet's history, occurred 66 million years ago when a massive asteroid, about 10 to 15 kilometers in diameter, struck Earth at an extremely high speed. But what really happened? How long had these giant creatures been around before their doom arrived? And why did mammals rise to dominance afterward? These are the big questions that today we will explore with Exploration Power. Let's begin. A colossal catastrophe. Scientists refer to this event as a mass extinction event, occurring between the Cretaceous and Paleogene periods. However, this wasn't the only major extinction our planet has experienced. Earlier, in the Permian period, an even more catastrophic extinction event wiped out most large terrestrial animals, creatures that once ruled the world. Miraculously, this event paved the way for the rise of the dinosaurs. Some species of reptiles that survived the disaster became the ancestors of mammals, though they had to wait in the shadows of the great dinosaurs for 150 million years before the light of a new era illuminated them after the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event. But here's something interesting. This extinction event didn't only take the lives of the dinosaurs. Research shows that most species weighing over 25 kilograms disappeared. The flying reptiles, the sky's rulers at the time, did not escape their fate either. The ecological niches they left behind are now occupied by whales, dolphins, seals, and sea lions. So, what caused this great extinction event? Several hypotheses have been proposed, with the asteroid hypothesis receiving strong support due to two notable pieces of evidence. First, at the boundary between the Cretaceous and Paleogene sedimentary layers, a thick layer of iridium was discovered. Iridium is an extremely rare element, mostly found in asteroids, making the asteroid hypothesis even more plausible. Second, on the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, there is a giant impact crater named Chicxulub, which is believed to have formed around this time. But to spare you from too much speculation, I won't dive into the other hypotheses. While there is not enough evidence to conclusively support these hypotheses, they do highlight important factors about the weaknesses of the dinosaurs, making them more susceptible to extinction. However, no matter the hypothesis, the common factor remains. The asteroid was the primary cause of the disaster. But the story doesn't end here. In popular culture, when this event is mentioned, people often imagine that all the dinosaurs disappeared immediately. But was it really like that? Certainly not, because it's impossible for all the dinosaurs on Earth to have been hit by the asteroid at the same time, right? So, how long did the extinction process really take? 15 years, or perhaps 500,000 years? What's crucial here is that the devastation caused by the asteroid didn't stop at the initial impact. Let's dive deeper into the aftermath of this catastrophe. After the catastrophic impact, a sea of fire erupted, burning everything in its path. A massive amount of dust and debris from the asteroid was ejected into the atmosphere, creating a dense black cloud that covered the sky. Hot, red fragments fell to the ground like fire rain, igniting everything in their path, leading to a series of wildfires. According to some hypotheses, the temperature of these fragments even exceeded the surface temperature of the sun. The thick dust cloud engulfed the Earth, plunging it into a long, dark night, devoid of light. And that's not all. The powerful impact caused horrific earthquakes, followed by massive tsunamis. These four factors, fire rain, earthquakes, tsunamis, and the endless night, turned the disaster from a local event into a global catastrophe, affecting every corner of the planet. The worst part for life was that the asteroid didn't land in the ocean but struck land. Had it hit the ocean, the damage could have been limited to coastal areas, with the primary threat being the powerful tsunamis. In summary, Earth abruptly became a harsh planet, and the paradise of the Cretaceous was destroyed in the blink of an eye. Especially in the western regions, a massacre occurred as countless large animals perished within 24 hours. While some areas, like the poles, offshore tropical forests, or wetlands, remained relatively safe, no one could escape the devastation of the endless night. The dust and smoke from the impact, combined with the wildfires, created a thick atmosphere that obscured all light. Even though it was daytime, Earth at this time was as dark as nighttime in today's world. Plant species, especially those that thrived in high temperatures and were large, began to die off. The massive herbivores that depended on plants also starved, and their numbers drastically declined. This led to a subsequent collapse in the food chain, as the predator species also faced a similar decline. This devastation is not just the story of the dinosaurs' extinction. It's the story of the permanent change of the planet we call home. Can you imagine the harshness that Earth had to endure in that moment? And the biggest question: will humanity be able to face such natural disasters in the future? Share your thoughts on this in the comments below. Regarding the duration of the endless night and how animals adapted to these harsh conditions, there are conflicting opinions. Large herbivores most certainly went extinct within a few weeks to a few months after the impact event. Meanwhile, carnivores may have lasted a bit longer, but their food sources dwindled rapidly. The animals most likely to survive were scavengers, though finding their preferred food remained a major challenge. However, even this food source gradually diminished over time. Scientists estimate that this situation lasted around 15 years. As the atmosphere cleared and the endless night came to an end, Earth began to return to its original state. This also demonstrates the remarkable resilience of nature, particularly when plant seeds can survive for long periods in harsh environments. For example, Israeli scientists successfully grew date palms from seeds that had been lying in the desert for 2,000 years. Not only that, another research team recorded a new record by successfully growing the Silene stenophila plant from seeds believed to be 30,000 years old. This proves that, under harsh conditions, life can endure for long periods. This brutal winter did not last forever. As new plants such as flowers, grasses, and trees began to sprout, the number of herbivores increased, followed by the recovery of predator species. However, the ecosystems of the bird-like dinosaurs, flying reptiles, and marine reptiles remain largely a mystery to us. Some species may have entered a form of prolonged hibernation to survive the cold and lack of food during the thick dust clouds. Some studies even suggest that these reptiles may have survived more than 30,000 years after the asteroid impact. However, their population was very small, leading to low genetic diversity, and eventually, mammals quickly filled the ecological gaps, winning the survival competition. But could this hypothesis be true? Indeed, while it may initially seem implausible, recent discoveries have made us reconsider. A study from the San Juan Basin in the southern United States uncovered numerous dinosaur fossils, including that of the Tyrannosaurus, which could suggest these dinosaurs survived at least 300,000 years after the asteroid impact. This discovery could change our understanding of the mass extinction event between the Cretaceous and Paleogene periods. First, the San Juan Basin, while not the impact site, is very close to the Yucatan Peninsula, where the asteroid struck Earth. This means that large animals in this area would certainly have been wiped out almost immediately, within minutes or seconds of the impact. Second, according to ecological rules, when you move up the food chain, only about 10% of the biomass of an organism remains. This means that an adult Tyrannosaurus, weighing an average of 1 ton, would need 90 tons of herbivores to sustain itself, and to maintain that number of herbivores, at least 900 tons of plants would be required. This didn't just happen once. It also required a steady food supply to sustain a Tyrannosaurus. But how could plants, the foundation of the food chain, grow during the long, endless winter? This is why many scientists are skeptical about this discovery. One viewpoint suggests that these skeletons might have been moved due to natural disasters like landslides. It's also possible that there was an error in dating, as this event happened tens of millions of years ago, and with current methods, the margin of error could be as large as 300,000 years or even 1 million years. However, this margin of error is not too significant at this scale. Supporters of this hypothesis argue that the data has been thoroughly checked, and the possibility of error can be ruled out. Under the environmental conditions of the San Juan Basin, it's possible that some animals survived the catastrophic disaster. For example, the eggs of Tyrannosaurus or herbivorous dinosaurs might have been frozen. And when the sun began to shine again, the food supply was restored, and the young dinosaurs could have survived. Of course, This is all hypothetical. One thing is certain, even with the most optimistic view, the survival of dinosaurs more than 500,000 to 1 million years after the fateful asteroid impact is impossible. The world of dinosaurs quickly became a thing of the past, and the future belonged to other life forms. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with your friends on social media. Thank you so much, and see you soon. Goodbye. If you have any interest in science, you've probably heard about how dinosaurs became extinct. This event occurred 66 million years ago when an asteroid, between 10 to 15 kilometers in size, struck Earth at an incredibly high speed. But what really happened? How long did the dinosaurs survive, and how did the dawn of the mammalian age of dominance come about? Did the disaster last for 15 years, or perhaps 500,000 years?